Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are and whatever time you see this video. Today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Justin DeFilippo. He's running for a state senate position from 23rd district in New York State. So welcome to the show, Mr. Justin.
Thank
How are
you.
you today?
I can't complain. It's Monday. We still
And you're
got many
already
days.
at the work site. Very nice.
Yes.
Good to hear. I mean, going to a work site during this pandemic time. So we would like to know a little more about you. Can you help us out in understanding? Your career and how you got into the politics. I would really appreciate if you can elaborate a little more on that, please.
Yeah, sure. So Justin DeFilippo, 36 years old. I was born and raised in Gravesend, Brooklyn. I moved out to Staten Island about 5 years ago. I own a business called Just Electric NYC, electrical contractor in the New York City area. So I'm a business owner that before I was a business owner, I was everything else. I was a clown at Play Aerobics, which is a place on Avenue in Brooklyn. And then I got into the trades. I went to OES High School. So I had a rough upbringing, rough childhood, tough love household. Then two households because my parents got divorced and I was back and forth between Gravesend and Flatbush. And just tough, not silver spooned. I didn't have anything given to me. Nothing in my life has been given to me. I had to work for everything. Nobody helped me out with getting jobs, everything. Long story short, as a business owner before that, the taxes are going up like crazy. My property tax keeps going up. Nobody seems to care in terms of politicians, whatever side they're on. Nobody seems to talk and to come out and say, like, this is wrong. What's going on here is wrong. Nobody's doing it. So I had a lot of complaints. I'd been a Republican my whole life. I had complaints, and from my complaints, I'm running for office now. Because it's, I guess if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Because things aren't working out too well here in New York City and New York State. This is a beautiful state. It really is. And the Democrats, the liberals, they just let it go. Yeah. It's such a beautiful state. You have factories that are abandoned, the Rust Belt. There's a lot of money to be made. A lot of people could be living better lives here. But, they just let everything go. Even the Amazon deal, they had a big Amazon deal for Long Island City. They went against it. It just didn't even make sense. But,
Gotcha. Thanks for your views, sharing your views about, what made you to run for the office here. So, can you? What is your view? We could see that when you being a Republican for a long time, and then and also some of the few initial comments about the how Democratic Party has handled the state. So we pretty much kind of understand. The views going, the direction the views are going on. So, but yeah, still we would like to hear from you. So, what is your take on the COVID-19 and the pandemic? In the New York State. Governor Cuomo has been on the TV almost every day, and he became a kind of a famous personality all over the nation now. And with some people say he did very well in handling it, and also there was a disagreements between federal level and the state level, but overall this is what some of the media is saying. So what is your opinion and take on the COVID-19 being handled in New York State?
all right. Well, first and foremost, I'm a conservative. I switched parties to conservative. I left the Republican Party. I wasn't happy with the way they handled things.
Gotcha. Okay.
As for the pandemic here in New York State, New York City, it was between Governor Cuomo and Mayor Bill de Blasio. These people are responsible for many deaths here. They put sick patients into nursing homes. They closed businesses. They killed this state. They killed it because of a political game. They wanted to bankrupt this state even more so. That's about the previous. Anybody who looks at this and sees what's going on, they just did it for money. It's all about money. So how he handled it on personality wise, yeah. But that's all the guy is. He's a personality on TV. Cuomo. He's got no answers. They tell us that we have to stay home, stay home, stay home, and then all of a sudden he backtracks and say, "Oh well, the numbers are still going up." And now on top of that, they got rioters and protesters, looters, anarchists in the streets, and the numbers are starting to go up. And yet, what our business has to suffer because you're going to allow people to destroy businesses, rob people, shoot people. The murder rate and the shootings went up about 500% just in 2 weeks over here. And
Good.
I'm out of it right now. I'm in East New York, Brooklyn.
Gotcha. So you mentioned, I mean, I understand, but see, lockdown, I mean, stay home role. So it's been saying that, I mean, if you look at the whole world, I mean, the countries like New Zealand or Germany, so that for them, the stay home orders has been very helpful in, I mean, controlling the spread of the disease. So why do you say that? I mean, stay home orders by the New York state is a wrong thing. I mean, whereas it's looking at, I mean, other countries helping this particular class, and they've been the one. I mean, actually, leading the whole country, our whole world. I mean, New Zealand is the first country, I mean, which came out COVID free, but at least they came back with few more cases, but at least better managed and better controlled. So like that, there are a few other countries. So the stay home orders are helping in spreading the virus. Is that right? Mr. Justin, hello, are you there?
So, yes.
I'm sorry.
Here.
Yeah.
I Okay. Selective quarantine would have been the right way to go. Unfortunately, they didn't do it, and everyone suffered. No one seemed to know, or no one seemed to share how deadly this virus was, or how it's transmitted. I mean, right now they got us wearing surgical masks everywhere as it's mandatory, which we know cannot stop a virus. If anything, it's causing more harm to people than good. And then you have people that come out and say, "Well, it's symbolism." I don't care about your symbolism. This is America. It should have been selective quarantine. People that were sick should have been quarantined and should have been treated. And they should have been treated with the medicines that we knew were working, which was the hydrochloroquine and the Z-Pack. But New York State didn't want to give that out, because Trump came out and said that this works. So it's a big political mess. And this, I truly feel that the Democrats did this to tank the economy, to put it in Trump's face. And we, all the American people, were stuck in the middle of it, suffering because of it. So.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks for your views on that. So can you, I mean, you said you moved from Republican Party to the Conservative Party. Can you talk a little more about the Conservative Party and what is it and what are its values? It is local to New York State, right? This is not a national level party, if I'm not wrong.
No, it's a national, it's the United States. Conservative Party is everywhere.
Okay.
We're conservatives, we're constitutionalists. We believe in less government, lower taxes, less government interference. We believe in our Second Amendment, but that goes hand in hand with the Constitution. So we want less of the government telling us what we can and cannot do. We want everybody to be able to do whatever they want in regards to their pursuit of happiness. If Joe Schmo wants to do X, Y, and Z, and he's happy, he wants to do this religion, that religion, do whatever you like. That's not the government's to tell you that you can or cannot do that, so long as you're not interfering with someone else. So it's simple, and it's cut and dry. And sometimes you say it to people, and they're like, "It doesn't sound right." Yeah, it is. We just want everybody to live a happy life, and not have the government to tell you yes or no. That doesn't mean I'm saying that people should go out and murder people. No, that's I'm talking about just if let's say. They always believe that the Republicans and conservatives are against gay marriage or whatever. If that's what makes you happy, then do whatever you like. As long as you're not doing, I don't have anything to do with it. I'm not going to tell you yes or no. It's your life. So that's kind of a conservative thing. Yeah, it's nice. We can all have families and everybody gets along, and that's that. It's simple.
Gotcha. I
That's
mean,
why I
I know
went.
I've been hearing, sorry, I've been hearing about the less government and both from Republicans and then some libertarians and the conservative groups, which is good to hear. I mean, Republican Party has been saying that less government all many years. I mean, now when they come into the power, I mean, they're also even though in the campaign they say less government, but when it comes to practical things, I mean, they're also increasing the size of the government, and so the spend is also they're increasing this, they're spending more, they're increasing the government. So what do you say on those things? I mean, people are just using for the campaign, or is it really they mean what they say in the campaign?
No, they're doing whatever they can do for votes. It's very simple. I mean, it's only an election years that some of these topics come up. If it wasn't, and continue collecting our tax dollars as a salary. The person I'm going against takes money from the NYPD and then just stab them in the back by
Your
voting
voice is breaking
for a
up.
bill that releases their information and their track record and all the complaints that they have. So now that puts all police officers in a big risk. If I know, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
So they
I mean,
voted for a bill that allows. I'm sorry, what did you say?
yeah, you were not. I mean,
Diane Savino takes money from the NYPD. Then she just stabbed them in the back because she just voted for a bill that allows anyone to see the complaint history, personal information of the police officer. To me, that puts a target on their backs. There's a lot of malicious people out there. Now, if this malicious person was able to see that Officer Donnelly has hit somebody 7 times, maybe that malicious person is going to go try to find Donnelly and try to get him to get hit so he can get a lawsuit. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. They shouldn't know that type of information unless there was an issue. Unless there was an issue that went to court, which is the way it was. So they're talking about defunding the police. Listen, they just cut in NYPD. They just cut out a whole task force of plainclothes anti-crime officers, and now the shootings have went up 500%. I mean, it's just a war zone now. So that's only because that's what her party, the Democratic Party, wants, is to defund the police and do X, Y, and Z, and they're going to oblige by their voter base. Whatever makes sense to their voters, so long as they get their votes. And after it's all said and done, they'll go back to their normal ways and disappear until the next election. And it's just typical now.
yeah. So you, yeah. So go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No. Please go ahead.
And they talk about anti-fascists and things like that, but yet the exact things that they talk about are the things that they're doing. They're creating a socialist society, and yet they talk about it's the Republicans. It's not the Republicans. These are all Democratic cities. These are all Democratic mayors and governors that this is all happening to. So, I don't know what else I could say about that. It's just that they gotta go. They gotta go.
Gotcha. I mean, I see the point. I mean, but I mean, defunding the means. I mean, they are not saying that they want to defund the police department or take out the police department completely. But I mean, channel the funds properly and also bring some more accountability in the police department. We do respect the police. I mean, they have done some very good things in the communities, and they've been protecting the community and helping the community without any doubt. There are a few people who are, I mean, not good. I mean, they kind of giving a wrong impression on the whole police department, no doubt about it. But I mean, at the same time, people are saying that they need to bring in more accountability and also take out the qualified immunity, those kind of things. I mean, so what do you say on those points on the police getting some reforms in the police department? Mr. Justin, are you there? Hello?
They have to have accountability on both sides. So, yes, I am.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead. Did you get my point?
How
I'm
about
sorry.
now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
They really, yes. Fine. Then they should be handled just like anybody else. You know what I mean? You with me or
Yep.
no?
And I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay.
No, yes.
So yeah, uh, police officers are just like me, just like everybody else. They're citizens as well. No one's above the law. That's what the Democrats like to say. And you know, if they use something that's against protocol, then they should be held accountable. You know, but at the same time, you know, people that resist arrest should be locked up, charged with resisting arrest. You know, right now they're just letting everybody go. The person I'm running against is voted for bail reform, which pretty much eliminates bail. You know, so now you got somebody that attacks someone and they go right out. They go in, they
Gotcha.
come out, and they're right back on the street. Then they just release all the inmates, you know, pretty much all of them, and then they're locking them all back up. And then they get released again because of bail. So it's wacky.
Got you. Okay. So you've been talking about Diane Savino. I mean, you brought in her name a couple of times. I mean, see, she has been in this that position for at least more than two times. So she's strong, and she also has a recently the polls also given more votes to her. So, do you think, I mean, you have a fair chance to, do you have a path to win these elections?
I think so. I think that 15 years also, we got to incorporate term limits. You got to give me 1 second. What's up? What's up?
Okay, I mean, let's wait for him to come back and he.
So the person I'm running against, Diane Savino, has been in office for 15 years. 15 years is too long for anybody to be in office. Okay, I think that we should have term limits, and the people that represents the community or the wherever they are need to they need to be part of it. You know, I'm an electrician. I'm a worker. I'm from the area. That's why I want to do this, because I have kids. I live here. I want to make sure it's better. But a term, 2 terms, that's it. Go back to doing what you were doing. Nobody should be in power that long. Nobody. You got to be from the area. You got to be a working person, so you know what all the issues are, whether it's taxes, common core schooling, the Second Amendment, whatever it is.
Gotcha. But I mean, see, our in America, the voting system, the elections should be the term limit. I mean, should I mean achieve the term limits, right? I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, they're not performing well. I mean, they should be voted out. I mean, in the next elections. So, I mean, that's indirectly checks and balances for the term. I mean, for non-performing politicians. So she has been being elected at the office for two times, three times. That means the voters are liking her, isn't it? Yeah. Mr. Justin, are you there? Hello.
Or not, even if you got. I'm sorry. The area is very bad here. I didn't think numerous times. So no matter which way you cut it, you're going to win. And the last time they put somebody up, the Republicans put somebody up, he was a dweeb. He's not from the area. He's not.
Hmm.
He's not like me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where I'm from Gravesend, I'm from Avenue, I'm from Sheepshead Bay, Coney Island. My wife's from Brighton Beach. I grew up there. We made our bones there. So, we need real people that are going to talk for us. I don't want another silver spoon college kid that got everything from mommy and daddy representing me. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of these politically correct people that come in and they think that they know what's better for me and my family when they don't have kids. The person I'm running against doesn't even have children. So how are you going to tell me what's best for my kids? You don't have kids. To me, you got nothing to say. You got nothing to say when it comes to my family and when it comes to vaccines, when it comes to schooling, because you don't have kids. So how can you relate?
Gotcha. Okay.
Where I am.
Thanks for your views on that. I mean, coming back to the another topic, I mean, the Black Lives Matter. I mean, during this pandemic, even this movement has picked up. And so, what's your opinion on the Black Lives Matter? One side, people are saying Black Lives Matter. The other side, some people are saying all lives matter. So how do you see this movement? I mean, what are your views on this particular movement right now?
They got lost in the sauce. I mean, I don't believe it. It's all lives matter or no lives matter. It's either or. You talk about racism, but yet it's causing racism. You're talking about they only want black doctors to work on black patients. These are some of the demands. They're talking about whites aren't allowed in certain areas. You have that Chaz situation where they had black only areas. So yeah, no, I'm against it because it goes against everything that they're talking about. Talking about ending racism by causing racism. It doesn't make sense. It's like having an alcoholic trying to come off of alcohol and giving them shots every day of alcohol. It doesn't work. Just end it. So, and the statistics aren't there. The FBI statistics aren't there for unarmed black people being shot by police. It's more white. So the statistics don't even match what they're talking about. And the whole thing with Floyd, yeah, that was crazy, and it was all on video. But nobody's talking about the relationship that cop had with that guy, and the other police officer had with that guy. There was more to that story. It wasn't about race, and it wasn't about just police brutality. It was about a guy that had a beef with somebody else, and he killed him, just that he was wearing a uniform. What did NYPD do? They didn't have nothing to do with that. What did I have? What did my business have to do with it? Nothing. What did the Wendy's that they burned down in Atlanta have to do with it? What about all the stores they looted? What's that got to do with anything? It just showed that criminals are going to do whatever they want, no matter what. And it just so happens we have a lot of politicians that are backing this behavior. So they got to go.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks for sharing your views again on this particular topic. And you brought in another topic about the kids and the education. So what's wrong with our current education system, and what are you proposing to improve the education system at the national level?
We got to go back to the basics. We got to get rid of this Common Core. The Common Core is dumbing our kids down, dumbing them down. I mean, to do 2 + 2 is a nightmare. They want you to say, well, 1 + 1 is 2, and then you have 1 + 1 is 2, and then 4. It's stupid. It's literally stupid. And so if we're teaching our kids stupid stuff, they're going to be stupid. Okay? And the whole thing about bringing in like gender studies and things like that while they're still in elementary school is not necessary. There's no reason kids need to be taught all, things about sexuality and things like that at that age. It just doesn't. No good.
Gotcha.
Not right.
If you can, yeah, that's nice. I mean, if you can move to your right a little bit, will be where the sun is on your face. So a little bit of right, view wise. Sorry to this. You're fine. Okay, so little better. So you mean to say the current education system should be reformed? I mean, so what are you proposing? I mean, what are you trying to cut down the education department, or I mean, how do you improve it? I mean, once you cut down, how do you improve the education system then?
We have to remove the Common Core. We need to simplify the system and go back to the basics. I mean, we have to even bring in basics like using a checkbook, things like that, basic hygiene. the basics, the bare basics. I mean, we could even look at a boot camp regimen if necessary. I mean, we need to have PT. The kids need to exercise. They need to figure out the basics, and now that comes down to even I mean, the kids need to learn about all these simple things because that's
Your voice is breaking up. I'm sorry. But,
put it out into